Good afternoon. We are live. Hey, Concrete. Hey, Ramil.
Hello,
What up? What up?
hello.
What's going on, people? What y'all up to?
Uh, Running around like a chicken with my head cut off as usual. I was actually finishing dinner just before I got on because I knew that I wanted to be sitting down and not have any system issues when I got on. So other than that, it's been a pretty cool day. What about you, Ramil?
I've been cooling, getting some work done, staying busy like always. And, made some time for this this interview. So I'm ready, man. Appreciate y'all for having me on.
Well, thank you for coming. I was a little concerned that you might not agree to an interview, but we certainly appreciate you agreeing to do this.
Oh yeah, no problem. I fuck with Sister George. Sister George is cool in my book. Everything's all good. So this will probably be one of the only few times I come on a female's channel if it ever happens again. But it's all good.
Here you
You
go.
know, and
That's
I
fine.
know people want to see this shit, so it don't matter. So I'm a man of the people. So we're gonna go right into it.
All right.
All right. Well, let's get right on into it. Matter of fact, let's talk about these damn panel fees.
Mm.
So, in
Oh
case the
shit.
listening audience does not know, Ramil has or it was $100 panel fee for a woman to get up there to argue or to come and voice her disagreements, whatever, whatever. Ramil, what made you come up with a panel fee? What's
And
up with
that's interesting because I remember when he wouldn't even agree to have women on. So that's he had evolved to panel fees.
honey? I kept going in the chat. You know, I'm like the only person that paid it, right? And
Oh my gosh.
Well, it's you and Upper the Unicorn. It's Upper the Unicorn paid it too. So it's
oh
both
Y'all
of y'all.
crazy.
man, you gotta
Y'all
do a
crazy.
show with us.
I mean that's cool too. I mean y'all paid it. Look, I mean, well here's the thing about the it's actually called the argument fee. But here's the thing, man. Me and women not going to agree anyway. So I already know we're gonna have it's going to be an argument. And at this point in time, I really don't have time to argue, especially with females. So that's the reason why. And also the fee is for, to be honest, and this is where, y'all probably gonna get mad. I don't feel as though it's really productive for me to really, converse and argue with the female. One of the reasons why I'm here is because Sister George did pay it, to be honest. It's just me showing like if you actually respect me, respect my time, then I'm gonna fuck with you. But on the side, I don't think women can teach me that much. On top of that, one more thing. As far as the argument fee, it's me teaching men that females do value the attention of men. Sometimes they need to see it
Mm.
personified. Alpha male strategies always said, value your attention, but sometimes men need to see that. They need to see that women do value the attention of men. So I did that for the men on my channel as well. And then to also make show that you need to make females invest in you. I mean, I know that's long winded, but that's why I do the argument fee. Multiple
That is
reasons.
interesting because I have in the past, and one thing that sticks out when I was talking to Danny about the interview, I'm like, oh my gosh, how controversial you are because of some of the things that you say. And I remember you saying basically that women don't really have anything to say that you want to hear, and that basically women are seeking validation by going on these different panels and things like that. So I didn't know anything about this fee, but this is very interesting.
Yeah, of course. I mean, some people do it on payment plans. I mean, I got a couple more on payment plans now. People starting to pay. I'm about to have to raise that, man, because Sister George, she grandfathered in, but I'm about to raise that to 250 now, man, because they people pay, yeah, they actually pay, and I'm just doing that for the men. They got to understand, like females value the attention of men. Y'all got to stop giving it away out willy nilly. Make them put something up. This is why they treat you like crap anyway, because you make it so easy to get your attention. You shouldn't be doing that. But that's my lesson to the men watching. That's
I know
all.
this is about Ramil, but Danny, why did you choose to pay it? Danny,
I don't know if she dropped off or the stream
she
got
might not be
tripping.
able to hear me, but we'll keep it going. I'm sure we'll work out whatever the technical difficulties are.
I
She
real quick, let
was
me shout out to Alan Roger Curry, man, because he was right. I mean, Alan Roger Curry was the first one to say value your non-sexual attention. That's true. My bad. He was the first one to do that. I misspoke again. He was the first one to do it. Alpha Male Strategies, he said it recently, but Oliver Curry was the first one. My bad. I slipped up on that one. That's cool. Yeah, that nigga, he can't even speak it, but that nigga pop. He said that nigga pop up every time. You might even say the title. Say the title of that nigga book. That nigga popping up in your chat.
Danny, can you hear us? Can you hear her, Ramil? I can't hear anything.
No, I can't hear her. I can't hear her. No.
I can't either. I'm not sure what's going on. But I did have another question for you. I talked about how controversial you are. And I wanted to know if a lot of the things that you say are simply for shock value. I mean, I'm certain that you don't really believe everything that you say, and a lot of the, absurd notions that you push, I can't fathom that you really subscribe to all of those things.
Oh, really? You really think that? It's just, here's the thing. It is YouTube, right? So everything I say, I definitely believe in. I just say it in the most, attention grabbing way. I do believe in what I say. I mean, give me some examples. What is absurd to you that I say that you don't think I believe in? You there?
Hello?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that.
It's all good.
One thing would be, let me see. Actually, I have notes on some of the crazy things that I've heard you say. Oh, for one thing, I know most recently at the top of the year, you were saying that you encourage men to lie to women. And that, in order for men to get what they want, like they're not going to get what they want by being honest. So you were encouraging men to lie to women. Now, do you really in your personal circle encourage that? And is that a practice that you subscribe to personally with all the women you deal with?
I think you should have weapons in your arsenal for different situations. I mean, from the get-go, to get a woman to like you and to get the woman to sleep with you, I don't think you should have to lie for that stage. She should want to do that off your energy and your vibe. However, if you want to keep her around, you want to keep dealing with her, especially as a man that's getting what you want. There's nothing wrong with you telling a little lie to keep getting what you want. I mean, if she asks a question like, "What are we? What kind of where's this going? I got kids or some shit like that." It's okay for men, but maybe this will go somewhere. You know what I mean? Keep her tagging along for. See, it's always something wrong when the man has an upper hand. It's okay when a woman does the manipulation and all that other bullshit, but when a man finds a loophole, that's what the problem exists. Nah, man, it's okay. Men can allow the females to string them along. There's nothing wrong with that.
Danny, are you back? She's muted up. She went out again. But I completely disagree. There is something wrong with lying to get what you want, regardless if it's the man or the woman. And if you are having to manipulate someone in order to get what you want, I see a big problem with that. I see a huge problem with that. In addition, I think about all of the issues that can arise out of that. Like personally for you, like so if you have actually manipulated women to get what you want at different points in your life, has it ever backfired on you?
I mean, everything in life just no such thing as 100% safe in life. Everything you can do can backfire. You can be the best person in the world. Something can backfire on you. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a dog eat dog world, and for all this time, it's been okay for everybody else to manipulate everybody. The biggest manipulators are females. I mean,
I agree.
They are the biggest manipulators. But when the men start, especially when black men, because white men are manipulated, everybody else. When black men start using these power laws of manipulation, all of a sudden it's a problem. Because everybody else been manipulating everybody for the longest. Biggest manipulators being females. So we can do the same thing. That's just the art of war and human existence right now.
I know that men can do this. Danny, go ahead if you have something to say. Maybe it's me. Let me drop off and come back on because I can't hear anything. I don't know if they can hear you.
No, I can't hear it either. I don't know. I
you
guess
can't hear her either.
Now it might be her device or something. It
Yeah,
might
that's
be
so weird because we
yeah.
usually don't have any problems with her
StreamYard been bugging like a motherfucker lately.
yeah. Well, I'll continue until we can get whatever worked out on her end. But
All right.
personally, I don't advocate for anybody manipulating anyone, and I never have. I do want to say that I mean I
You've never
support.
manipulated a man before?
Yes, I have. I've never
Okay.
advocated for women manipulating women, but I do want to say, in reference to the question you just asked, um, I have been conditioned. I mean, I'm African American, so of course I've been conditioned, and I have westernized ways. So I didn't really realize that my actions were manipulative, because I was being sweet and
Is that an excuse for being
sweet natured
manipulated? Is that an excuse though?
no, it's not an excuse. But when you know better, you do better. Once I realized like that's manipulative, it's not fair because I'm saying it in a sweet and nice voice to still be manipulating someone because I'm not doing it with brute force. It's not right. So once I realized that my actions were manipulative, I make a conscious effort to ensure that I'm not being manipulative in my actions.
Mm. Okay. Are you currently dating right now?
I'm engaged.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cool. Cool.
So
Well, like
I
I said,
really
man,
try.
go ahead.
I was going to say, I really try. I mean, I think that if you go 30 plus years with being conditioned and being led to believe that, women are to behave in a certain type of way, before you have an awakening and you realize that your actions are improper, then it's a constant battle to ensure that you're not weaponizing your femininity against the men in your life or men
Okay. Yeah.
period.
Yeah. Yeah, and that sounds good, but unfortunately, these females are not going to have that awakening. They're going to continue to do it. So as long as they
Yeah,
continue to do it, I'm gonna continue to do it because we fight fire with fire. You don't fight fire with paper. Okay, because if you do, you're going to get burnt. And
right.
you're going to get dealt with. You don't go to war. You don't
I
bring
agree.
a knife to a gunfight. And this
I
is why
agree,
men
and
been losing.
and that's fine. I
Go
do
ahead.
want to move on though because I have another question for you. There
Okay,
was something else. I have a ton of controversial things that I've either heard
that's
you
all
say
good.
or that just someone repeated and they said they heard from you. But this one I heard you
Yeah, go
say.
ahead.
You said that marriage is like simp behavior. Like marriage is for simps. Is
It
that
is.
something that you believe, and can you expound upon why you do?
Yes, marriage is for simps. All signs point to the fact that the men take the losing position with marriage when making that contract with the state. First of all, 50% of marriages end in divorce. Okay, majority of divorces are filed by women. Men pay most alimony. Men pay most of the child support. They get their wages garnished and giving up all power to the state. If you're willing to put your assets and your livelihood on the line for one female, that's one of the most simplest moves you can make. All right, when you keep investing in yourself, become the most powerful man you can be. You can deal with multiple women at your recreation without taking on the responsibility of her livelihood. You know, females are emotional. They make decisions on a whim. She'll love you for 10 years and leave you in one day the next. Why take that risk? You can just enjoy life and have multiple females.
So you don't subscribe to the idea of marriage at all.
Oh no, not at all. That's one of the worst moves a man can make.
Well, there because I don't subscribe to the idea or the notion of state sanctioned marriage, but I do believe in spiritual unions. You don't have to have a state sanctioned marriage. You don't have to enter into contract with the government.
Look, here's the thing. If you want to be together with the female that bad, and you guys are gonna do something without the contract, she needs to sign over all her financial assets to the man and let him take full control of that relationship. If they want to do that and no state is involved, she needs to give that man full financial control of the household and
Why is
submit
that
totally
necessary?
because that's who controls the relationship. Who controls the finances?
You can your man can lead and control the relationship without you giving
No,
over full control of all of your
no,
assets.
no. The man must control the money. That's the only way. He who controls the
In
gold
that
makes he who has the
case,
gold makes the rules.
it's best for her not to work outside of the home. And if you're working outside of the home and you're earning, then are you supposed to sign over your paycheck to your husband because he's the man of the house? I mean,
Okay, well
you have no control over.
you're right. You're right. So in that situation, if she is working, she should sign his paycheck over. But she should in that situation, she should be working from home. Like if the man wants to do that, see, I do believe that if a man and woman get together, the man should be, ahead of everything, and he should be in control of her 24/7. She shouldn't have to go
Oh,
out the house to work. You know what I
mm,
mean? She should have like an in-home business or not work at all because it's hard. You can't serve two masters.
mm,
So it's hard to serve another man as a boss and serve your husband at the same time. You know,
interesting.
but that's how I feel about that.
Very interesting. I of course don't agree, but I do agree that the man is supposed to lead. I do agree that, as women, it's important for us to find capable partners who are capable of leading, who possess the qualities that a leadership possess. However, I don't think that there's anything wrong with having control over your own assets. I think that,
You
your
get an
partner should be
allowance.
able to trust.
You get an allowance.
An allowance. She
Yeah.
should have full access to the bank account, not an
No, you get an
allowance.
allowance. You get an allowance that you can,
Doesn't
get an
that
a
sound like
weekly allowance.
how you would treat a child though? A grown adult should not have to
There
be
you
managed
go.
in that way.
Well, yes, because women look. There's similar characteristics between women and children. You know,
Oh, okay.
I mean there are. I mean, if you just want me to
The
be
same
honest. I
thing can
mean,
be said about men.
no, not necessarily, because the responsibility of life going on as far as having a good quality of life and infrastructure depends on the man. That's not childlike to
Hmm.
build infrastructure.
Yeah, but a lot of men display childlike behavior. All they want to do is play video games. They don't want to take on any real responsibility. They almost want a woman that is going to take the place of their mother as opposed to an actual partner. So
What men are you talking about?
I'm just saying there are some segments of the
You talking
population
about
that
the men that you like
behave
to
in that
fuck?
manner. No, that my man is like the exact opposite. I assure
No, I'm just
you,
playing. I'm just
I've
playing.
never seen a more capable leader.
No, I'm just talking shit. I'm just talking shit. But
Um,
no, I feel you. But I mean, yeah, I mean, it's this different. I mean, this men who like to play video games all the time, man. But it's different type of men out here.
mhm.
It's just at the end of the day, women don't want any man. They just want to do them
Some
in this
women,
day
you
and
are
age.
right. I used to disagree with that notion,
Most
but I'm
women,
coming to find what you say.
most women,
Most women, you think? Um,
yeah,
most millennials.
most women, most women. Period. Now, it's
I
because there's a
don't know about
facade that they can have it all. It's a facade that they can have it all.
that. I'm not sure
So they
about
so they
that
feel as though
one.
they can get better. They feel like though they can always find a better man. So they're always open on the market.
Mm,
Even if they
okay.
get with somebody that when a man of higher status approaches her,
Mm,
she will leave that man and go to the next higher status man.
mm. Well, that's interesting, and I won't argue with it one way or the other. I will say that I um, I used to believe that most women thought like me, and I come to find out that most women do not. Most women, I'm a traditionalist. Most women are, almost the exact opposite of, the type of person that I am. So I will not say that there aren't women out there who think like that. I don't know if I believe that it's the majority of women. I do think a lot of women don't necessarily want a man. A lot of women don't want marriage. A lot of women don't want the idea of family that I grew up seeing. So yeah, yeah.
All right, true,
Danny?
true.
Can y'all hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah, look at here. Yeah, yeah.
Danny? We could hear you for a second, then you went out.
That's
I don't know
crazy.
what happened. That's so weird.
That's crazy.
Yeah, we could hear you, and then you went out.
Can you hear me
Um,
now?
yep, perfect.
Yeah, I can. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Oh, I was so fucking pissed. Now the computer guy wants to call. Hey babe, I got it working now. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, and they can hear you too. Say hey.
Hey, bro.
All right, babe. All right, bye. Okay, I don't know what I missed. I don't know what happened. I don't know what the hell. Give me a bit of a recap and
Um, we just talked about, I asked if a lot of what he says is for shock value. We talked about marriage being for simps, and we talked about him encouraging men to lie to women.
okay. So, marriage being for simps. Have you ever been called a simp before?
Who, me?
Yes, you.
Oh no, not at all. No.
Okay. And I've been wanting to kind of ask this question, but it like people in the manosphere get like so pissed off. But what got you to a point of like women not being shit? Like, did you go through something? Because you're about 30 years old, 32, something like that.
I'm 31.
31. Okay.
Yeah.
Um, so you're 31. What got
Hmm.
you to a point of saying like these bitches ain't shit? Like who hurt you?
Who hurt me? No, it wasn't who hurt me. It was just I've always been a I've always been a no nonsense dude. Okay, so I was always like this, even when I was a kid. Like when I used to see like girls say they're like one dude and go to the next dude and do the same thing. Like I picked that from a very early age. Like I don't know what it was. I just and then I would listen to Project Pat. He'll tell you don't say these hoes, and I just seen like the true side, like what it really was. That innocent angel thing that Disney tried to push was some BS. So I saw it from an early age. Then when the internet came out and I seen how women are always looking for the next best option, and how it's just better not to trust them. That's just the best way to move for a man because they're so emotional. They'll leave you after 10 years of loving you every day. They're just flipping you one day. I mean, it just is what it is. So why put yourself in a position to get burnt? And it's not hate. It's not saying bitches ain't shit. It's just being logical about putting your life in the hands of an emotional being.
So
But
would you
all people have the ability to be emotional, and it sounds almost like a bitterness. It comes off like a
yeah,
bitterness.
because
How is it a bit? Okay, who initiates most of divorces?
women.
Okay,
Right.
so we know that on the record that women leave first, right? So it's
Yeah,
not
but why?
bitterness. I'm
Yeah,
just
we
saying
can't ignore why.
it's mostly what's the number one reason? What finances and infidelity?
Yep.
Now
Yeah.
you guys aware that women are cheating more nowadays than men? Did y'all know that?
But the men
No,
ain't leaving the marriage.
I'm understanding that women cheat back, not that just
No,
women
no,
are
no, no,
going
no,
out
no.
and doing it
And
first.
did y'all know there's more research showing that women seek extramarital affairs first in the relationship? It's on the
Okay,
independent.
if
So
y'all,
I did streams on this.
why
but
aren't the
you
men filing?
right.
Well, I don't understand why women don't just say we get tired of the same dick, we want to move on to another one.
That's not true.
Because you guys are leaving first. You guys get tired of men first. I mean, it just is what it is.
So, okay, have you ever been in love before?
No, I've never been in no because I don't like being in a weak position. I mean, I've loved, and I'm not saying I'm a robot. I mean, you can probably say I love some females in my early days, but in love, I've just never been in love with anything. I just don't like being in a weak
Being
position.
in love puts you in a weak position.
Yes.
How so?
Okay, well, first of all, it's been scientifically proven. You can look this up that people who are in love are less productive. All right, and then also on top of that, when you're in love, that means you're willing to sacrifice yourself and your well-being for somebody else. And I don't like being in that position, unless it's like, of course there's exceptions to the rules, but I don't like being in that position where uh, you're at the mercy of somebody else. Why would you want to live like that? Be out of control of your actions.
So
That's what
you
being in love does. That's
okay.
why people do stupid stuff, because they be in love. People in jail because they was in love. People lose
So
everything if they was in love. My bad. Go ahead.
when you've loved a woman or whatever, I'm basically taking that you put certain limitations on yourself. Like when you loved a person, did you still step out, or are you a cheater? That's for one. And for two, have you when you were loving this woman, did you ever step outside of that?
Men can't cheat, so I don't know what you mean
What?
because men cannot cheat. Men are biologically designed to have multiple females, and there's no such thing as a man cheating.
If you told her that you were going to be committed to her and then you went back on that and slept with someone else, that's cheating. Unless you set the stage for you to be able to deal with multiple women, then it's not cheating. But if you told her that you were committed and in a monogamous relationship and you did the opposite, that would be cheating.
But even to prove this point, because he's full of shit, and I'm gonna tell you why. If you're saying that you lie to women, then if you're lying to women, then it's cheating in a certain sense. Because like, why would you have to lie if men can't cheat? Then you should be open about wanting a polyamorous relationship, right?
Okay, so first of all, when I'm talking about the lying part, I'm not talking about being in a relationship. Okay, I'm just talking about you just fucking around. It's okay for that. Now, if you're in a relationship with a female, you should never expect a successful man to be committed to one female. That's just not natural. I don't understand why you guys think that a man who you're gonna be in a relationship with a successful, high value man is gonna be faithful 100% to one female.
Why do the
That's
men
not even
strive after
natural.
that though? Because the
They
whole thing
don't.
to me is no, that's not true. Because when men take vows, men take the same vows that women do to love, honor, and obey. And then if you're saying that doing most of the cheating now, um, would men be right to get married still? Like, what's the point?
Most of the men getting married are blue pill like kind of soft dudes. But I'm
Oh my
just saying
God.
like, but look, the high value man, like the people who are powerful and get married, they all have mistresses. A lot of the time it's for image. All high
My
value men.
issue My issue isn't a man sleeping with multiple women. It's you breaking the promise or vows that you
You
signed up
agree
for. Like
to,
if
right?
you
Okay, they
agree
have
to
the
sleep,
problem with the females doing the thing because y'all doing it the most right now.
I have a problem with anyone who goes against the promises or vows that they made with someone. But Complex made an interesting point, and I believe that. I think that when we think of love, we think of falling and being helpless. You should be rising in love. Your partner should be the person that you fall in love with should be a person that's going to push you and motivate you. So that I know you said that there's scientific facts regarding people being unproductive when they're in love. I'm not
Hmm.
sure where that science comes from, but if you partner with someone who is like-minded and if you're a productive male and you partner with someone like-minded, then that shouldn't be an issue.
But what's wrong with
Everybody always
you?
has this theory. Do you know that to be like a progressive person, always moving forward, having that drive to become better, that's already rare in
Hmm.
life.
But do you
Okay.
also know that most CEOs of major corporations are married? Most
Yes,
people that are
and they all
leading
have
the major
mistresses.
companies, I
Well,
knew you were going to
according to
say that.
Kevin Samuels, you actually I think he said that you live a better quality of life in being married. Like you actually go up, you
There, you
improve.
live longer. Men live longer, not women. Men live longer if they
Okay,
are
you know who
married.
else lives longer?
Cool.
Vegans and vegetarians live longer, according to the only
Okay, so
30-year
become a
science.
vegan or vegetarian and get married, and you'll have a longer life.
I'm just saying, like sometimes, look, the married class right now are married because they got married a long time ago. But people with money are usually older. So they would marry in another generation. Okay, so we're talking about people who are older. Now it's different. There are successful single people right now, and right now it's just not worth it to risk your assets. You can't grow your wealth taking the risk with your half your assets because of an emotion. Love is a chemical reaction. It dies
Like a
down over
prenup.
time.
So,
Prenups
okay,
get thrown out.
That's
this is my
rare. And how
question.
many men do you personally know that's having to pay alimony? It's rare
That's
for
not
black men to
rare.
be. It's rare for black men to have to pay alimony. It's also rare that a prenup is thrown out. That doesn't
That's
happen.
not
It's
rare.
not a
What do you
common
mean? That's
thing.
happening.
It's
That's
an
happening.
ironclad contract, and in most instances, especially in today's time, you're filming your partner signing it and agreeing to it, and ensuring that they aren't under duress, and that's not why they're signing the agreement.
Um, okay. So let me ask you this question. Okay. So, last week, was that last week we had ARC on, and ARC
Yes.
is at a certain point, he's about to get married. Beyonce is pregnant, but he's at a certain age, and to his defense, I think he said in his 20s and 30s he wasn't looking for marriage. Ramil, what do you think will happen like when you get older? You don't think that you'll ever become lonely?
No. Why would I become lonely? I can smash holes until I'm literally 80 if I want to. You
Yeah,
know,
but
and if
You're
I need
gonna be
people,
paying for it at 80.
hold on. But look, here's the thing. Like, if I got even then, like, I don't think I mean, it depends on the situation. I mean, it depends. But I'm just saying, like, if you're an old man, like, it depends on how you want to do it. Like, if I have caretakers, I have it paid for anyway. If I could become an old man, but look, I'm not mad at ARC. I mean, he's been smashing, for 30, 40 years. Okay, at least he's settling down. He's 60. Okay, but I'm just saying, man, like in your prime, of your youth, man, keep it going. But me personally, I can't see myself doing it because I know the men have the power to attract females for the rest of their life if I want that. Like I said, we have a very long
I
time
don't
span.
know too many 80-year-old men that are attracting females unless they're doing it with their wallets. I don't know too many
Okay,
80 year
so
old
look,
men
if
in
I
these
become
nursing
70
homes.
years old, if I'm 70 years old and I gotta do it with my wallet, because if I'm that old, so be it. At least I'm not tied down to one female. My assets aren't on the line. I'd rather
Well,
be
I
a
just
70
want to
year old.
say women aren't dating 70, 80-year-old men because they love them. They're dating them because, they're sugar daddy. There's something they can get out of it. There has to be something for the woman. You said that men can
I'm
attract
not looking for
women for the
love.
rest of their lives.
I'm not
not
looking
yet.
for love. Okay,
Right.
love is a chemical reaction that dies over time. At the end of the day, men and women have different goals. Okay, that's what a conflict is. Women want comfort, security, vanity, things like that. Men want want to conquer, want control, want power. Those are two different forks in the road. And when you have those two people together, this is why people break up. It's always arguing because it's just two different directions that men and women want to go to. Women want to spend the money, do get extra outfits. Men want to save the money for the long term. It's just always just it's two different goals.
So,
So
would
why
you
bother, huh?
Exactly.
well, my question is, do you think that most men are naive about love?
Yes. This is why they put everything on the line for one female and then be confused why she acted weird the next day. Once you marry her, she has the leverage now. That's what things change. That's why 38% of marriages are sexless. She
Mm.
done did all this for you. She got the ring. Now she not even giving you no ass no more. Ain't that a shame?
Well,
38% of marriages are sexless. That's a shame
do
because
you
she gets
think there
comfortable.
so do you think that there's a such thing as a valuable woman? Do you see a value to any woman
Yeah, when
outside
she's
of love?
a woman's valuable when she's doing two things. When
Oh
she's
my god.
giving me money or giving me sloppy toppy.
You mother.
And
That's
that's
all
not
you
to,
got,
but that's not to
Ramil.
downplay her value though. Those are I'm not. That's not to downplay.
So you're willing to take money from a woman.
Not
However, you're
necessarily.
not
I'm
willing
willing to do business with women. I'm willing to. Women are still valuable. It's just that y'all done overhyped yourselves. but I still enjoy the
So you
company of
think men are the
females.
prize?
Of course, that's not even. Sister George paid the argument fee, so you can get it. Yes, men are the prize for sure.
Mm.
It's
So it
not even a
wouldn't you
doubt.
be surprised either?
She's a woman is the she's the little ribbon you get. You know what I mean? Like like the little ribbon they get a congratulations ribbon. On top of the trophy. They get you a trophy, they give you that little ribbon like that. See, so the man's a trophy. The women, she has a place too, but it's not even close. Like men literally created the world.
Yes, that's true. But
It's not
You
even
say
close. You
that,
got to enjoy. You got
however, men did build the world that we live in.
exactly.
However, you don't negate the fact that women are the ones who bring forth life. So, clearly there's definitely some value to a woman. I mean, in order for us to sustain the population of the world, we do need women.
No, I didn't say women weren't valuable. That's the thing. I'm not
I
saying
know you
women.
didn't. I know you didn't.
I mean, there is clearly there's value there. It's just not. It's been overinflated. I mean, first of all, the seed still has to come from the man's nutsack, and on top of that, it's just like an incubator process. It's not like I'm not trying to downplay birth, but
Oh,
it's not.
okay.
I'm not trying to downplay birth, but it's
Just
a
the
natural
incubator.
phenomenon. It's going. You know what I mean? Like you just have to sit there and be. I'm not trying to downplay. It's
The
beautiful and bring
issue,
life.
the point though, is that both men and women are needed to procreate life. So there's clearly inherent value in both because we need both men and women to sustain, the population of the world. But you can't do it without women. Was the point that I was trying to
Okay,
make.
I agree. So we can take procreation away from both sides. So what's left? The infrastructure that keeps us being able to live on a daily basis that comes from men.
So women are typically the nurturers and the ones who are training up the children as well. Is that not an added value too?
It is a very added value when it's actually being done, but in today's society, that nurturing is not necessarily as present as it used to be in the past. You can
Mm.
say,
so you would say that a good woman would be valuable then, since there seems to be a lack of, right?
of course,
Okay. Okay. Um, so I'm typically gonna ask the same question to most of the men that we encounter as far as interviews are concerned. What is game to you?
game.
Yes.
Game is the ability to manipulate uh any situation to your will.
Okay.
Whether you have to use words or whatever.
And do you agree with the idea of using game?
It is part of the equation. Yes, it is part of the equation to be able to achieve maximum results. You do have to have some game. Yes.
Okay. So, in the manosphere, there seems to be a theme that game kind of ruined our society. Game ruined the culture. And so now you kind of have a culture, and I want to say ARC mentioned this in our interview, that he's seeing people be way more manipulative. People are trying to get over, and we generally don't trust each other. Wouldn't you say game has contributed to that?
Man, people been manipulating people since the beginning of time. I mean, how you think black people got manipulated out of Africa? I mean, that's just look, man. You're not going to change human nature. People are going to try to do that. It's up to you. Game recognized game. That's just what it is. All right, game recognized game. So you're not gonna get ran over if you hip to the game.
So
Technology
if
did not nothing new under the sun.
so if a person gets ran over, is it the fault of the person who ran them over, or the person that gets run over?
Fool me once, nigga, shame on you. Fool me twice, nigga, shame on me. Fool me three times, fuck the peace sign, load the tech, and let it rain on you. J. Cole, whose fault it? If you get ran over and you keep getting ran over, that's your fault.
Mm,
Because at the end of the day, the snake gonna try to catch the hamster. At the end of the day, you're gonna have the predator and you gonna have the prey. That's the world. That's nature. It's human existence.
okay.
It's your job to prevent being trapped. This is why black people can't blame white people for nothing. white people just set the trap. You fell for it.
So you bring up a situation, as far as black and white or whatever, and to me, like, I don't know if you're pro black or not, but
No.
I kind of get pro
I
black
don't get pro
vibes.
black from him at all.
Oh, I get pro black vibes and maybe pro black men vibes, right?
Yeah, that's
Um,
about right.
okay. With pro black, with that stance, it seems that a lot of men in the manosphere, they seem to be divided on black men being killed by cops when they're unarmed, right?
Yeah.
Why do you think that divide is there? Because I would think that it's kind of interesting because there's guys that I genuinely have a respect for, and they really seem to be on opposite sides of the fence. Specifically with the case that just came up with the jog, whatever. What do you think about that?
The jogger. And here's the thing, man. It's just a separation between emotional people and the logical people. That's what it is. That's all it is. And, I mean, you really trying to set it off because a lot of people are divided on this situation, but you know, it's just an argument between emotions and logic. That's all it is. People who are emotional and people who are logical. That's all it is.
Interesting. Did you have something follow up for that, Sister George? I had one more question for him too.
Um, yeah, because not well. What's your stance on that? Like with this case that just passed, or yeah, what's your stance on that?
All right, well, you talking about
He about to say something crazy.
no, it's not even that. It's just, I mean, look, if you talking about the guy who was jogging, the
Mm-hmm.
thing is that, look, we got to understand that, two things can be right at the same time. Nobody deserves to lose their life over anything, but also to be intelligent with the way we move in today's society and uh, understanding our position that we're in, and
Hmm.
we need to be more careful with the way we maneuver in the world until we gain some sort of power. I mean, that's just a reality of the situation. So two things can be right at the same time. You know?
Wow, I actually agree with what you said. I thought you were about to say something like come out of left field with something, but I agree with that. I do think that he definitely did not deserve to be killed. But as black men, and it's unfortunate that you have to do this, but because of the society in which we live, you do have to be careful how you move. First and foremost, I don't think a black man. I don't care if you go on an exercise, you shouldn't be unarmed. To me, in my
Well, first of
opinion,
all,
I mean,
and we got to cut the chase, man. I mean, that's another. Like I said, when I say we got to be real about the situation. First of all, the nigga wasn't jogging. Okay, let's cut that. He was wearing khaki shorts. He wasn't jogging. I mean, we got to be
so what was he
honest.
doing?
He was look, more than likely. Okay, I mean, just be honest. I mean, more than likely, the nigga was. Look, man, people don't want to be real about the situation, man. That's the thing. Like, people don't want to
I
be
don't
honest
think that
about.
he was up to no good. I don't like
Man,
I there was
I
no indication that he was up to no good at all whatsoever. So I
all right,
completely
okay.
disagree
I'm
with
not.
that.
Like I said, I'm
In
not. It's not an
addition,
excuse.
he didn't have a record. He had a theft from when he was in high school, when he was a kid. Well, like, who
I
hasn't stolen high school or junior high school?
I
So
didn't say
he
anything
didn't have a
about that.
record of. But I know initially the stories that they were putting out was that he had a record of burglaries or something of that to that effect. In addition, there hadn't even been any burglar, and he regularly
Mm,
ran in that area because he didn't live far from there. But there hadn't been any reported burglaries in like 2 months, and the last one was a car break-in for the guy who actually shot him. So I don't know. To me, it's not unbelievable that he was jogging, but nonetheless.
like I said, I never seen a jogger in khakis. I ain't trying. Like I said, like me, like I said, I just look at the world for how it is. Like I never
Man,
look,
listen,
man.
I'll be seeing people down here at Planet Fitness exercising in jeans. Like the craziest thing I've ever seen. Jeans.
Okay. Yeah, all of a sudden it's normal to jog in khakis. All of a sudden it's normal to walk in
No, I
construction.
didn't say it's
All of
not.
this
It's
stuff is
normal.
normal now. That's funny to me. Like all of this stuff, all of this is normal to walk on. Uh, it's just crazy to me how all, black people. All look. First of all, us as black men, we just got to be smarter, man. We got to understand where we at. We got to understand. Like,
Mm,
look, man, we got to be smarter with the
agreed.
way we move. Like that just wasn't smart. I'm sorry. It's not smart to charge a nigga with a shot. I'm sorry. It's just not. And you can't be doing stuff like that, especially when you got people you already know don't mess with you. Like we have to be more smarter. We have to be.
See,
This
but
is
that's
why.
what I'm saying.
But
We got to stop also believing everything that the media says. The initial report said that he charged him. The autopsy that came out
that's the
shows that he was
video.
shot in. Yeah, no, you can't see because they're hidden by the truck. But the autopsy
All
that came
right.
out shows that he was shot first in the wrist. So it's very plausible that he was shot in the wrist and subsequently that gunshot grazed his wrist and he subsequently lunged at him with the gun in his hand. We can't believe everything that the media presents either. So we
I mean,
got to
I
be smart
understand.
in
I'm
how
just, I'm
we.
just looking at the video. That's all. That's
Right.
all I was just saying. I, mean, I know what you're saying, but I just saw. I know that's not saying like nobody deserves to lose their life at all. I'm just saying us as black men, look, we just have to just. Unfortunately, we're in a situation where we can't do what everybody else do. Okay, and if you want that to change, you're gonna have to get more power. More black men are gonna have to become police chiefs. More black judges. Until you get that power politically and all that other stuff, you just can't do the same thing white folks do. I'm sorry. You can't walk around random shit right now. That should be motivation to get power. That should be motivation to stop being at the bottom. That's how I
Okay.
look at it.
Uh, did you have a follow up question on that topic, Danny?
No, no, no. I was just
I do want to say this because when I went to Ramil's page and I when he first started his page, I think I went over on his page a few times and maybe when he was streaming, I was kind of in the chat and I think I kind of shied away from going over there because I knew that I didn't have a place where my voice could be heard should I disagree with his topics. However, I did go ahead and I was looking on his page doing some research for the interview and I do have to say he does not just challenge black women. So I saw video streams where he was also challenging black men. First of all, he does promote like self-improvement heavily. So
mhm.
that's one thing. But also there was just different streams where he was challenging black men in other ways too. But I wanted to I just said all that to say you had a interesting video on there that I saw, and it was something to the effect of, and I can't remember the title, but it was about light-skinned women, something about them being overrated. And I wanted to ask, I wanted to ask where that concept came from.
And I seen said video, so I understand. I know
Yeah.
what you're talking about. Okay.
Well, light skinned women are overrated. I mean, they're valued because of the way they look. But at the end of the day, they have more attitude. They're not as freaky. They think they're too pretty to get sloppy for the most part. Except to the rule, like Tiana Trump. But they just think they're more than what they are. They don't act right. They're submissive only a small amount of the time. And I'm not saying there's no bad light skinned females out there to deal with, but they're really overrated. They sex be trash a lot of the times. You know what I mean? So it's just like
Mm.
it's just it's just because of the rap videos. They just been over promoted. Like to me, I get more value out of the caramel and the dark skin. Just it's just I mean they all fucked up, but it's just the attitude is slightly better and everything else is slightly better. More humbleness from the caramel, brown skin from the dark skin. Like to me, I just noticed that they're overhyped. You know what I mean? Like
Okay.
that's in my opinion.
Okay.
So did a light skinned woman break your heart? That's what's
No, I no. I mean, I fuck with light skinned females.
Danny
I mean,
trying to
like I
get to
said,
who hurt you.
no. I mean, I fuck with light skinned females. I mean, don't get it twisted. Now, I don't discriminate. I regulate every
so you
shade. You
dog
know,
them
like
out
Big Pun,
equally?
huh?
You dog them out equally?
Yeah, everybody gets equally dogged out. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, yep, yeah. But I don't just
Okay.
dog out in a bad way. I gotta clear that up a little bit. I mean, I don't just like I'm not evil with. It. I just
Mm.
I
I was
the
about to
mean,
pump
say
and
you ain't
dump.
worried
I've
about your
seen your
windows
Instagram
getting
page. It don't
bust
look
out.
like you be
Uh-oh.
dogging them out.
Yeah, I don't
But
dog them out. I just had. I look. I don't. See, that's the thing. People get it twisted. Like I'm about the pump and dump lifestyle, but I'm not like just out here just it's a way to do it. I hope people can read between the lines. Like, I hope people don't think that I still I have fun with females. You know what I mean? Like we be kicking it. Like we be cool. I just don't let it get past that point. But they be having fun. I be having fun. Like you know,
hmm.
I like hanging around. I like hanging around these hoes. They're fun.
Okay, so I noticed that when I went to your Instagram page, I noticed that you had a lot of different. Well, I'm not gonna say a lot, but a few different women or whatever are these women that you've lied to and made them think that it was going to be something other than it was, and y'all snapping a pic, or um did they just agree to that? Because like nowadays, I think well, maybe it's an older women thing that um not to be taking pictures with random guys and sitting on their laps and stuff.
I mean, well, first of all, everybody takes pictures nowadays in this Instagram era. And second of all, I mean, why would they not? If you like I said, man, I have fun with females. Like I don't know, so, like I know it's gonna be hard for people to believe, but for everybody who thinks I hate females and shit, females they like being around me. Like I don't want to sound cocky or anything like that, but like they they don't mind if they feeling you, they'll take a picture of sitting on your lap. I mean, but it also depends on the female. But I'm just saying, like you, if you feeling somebody, Sister George, you feeling the man, you just take a picture while you sitting on his lap if you're into him.
That is absolutely positively not correct,
Ah,
because for one,
Go ahead up front. Go ahead up front.
and I tell women, for one, unless you're in a serious relationship, don't take no pictures,
agreed.
and then wait after a while until you're into that serious relationship if you're gonna post them. Because I don't
Oh
need
my God, he with
counting
that cap
pictures
and
and
shit.
stuff.
So are you in a serious relationship right now? I know Concrete said she's engaged. You in a serious relationship as well?
Yes.
Are you engaged or not?
No.
Okay, cool, cool. All right. Well, like I said,
Ramil,
you can cap all you want, but when women are
Ramil,
feeling somebody, go ahead.
are you concerned about like you taking pictures with these women? It almost seems as if you're doing like boyfriend stuff or someone who would be dating seriously. Are you concerned about making your way on one of these websites where the women like blast men for being awful guys?
Why? I'm not awful. They get what they want. And I mean, yeah, I
Yeah, but
understand.
if you're like leading them to believe that there is more to it than what really is, and you have no intention on the relationship going anywhere, they could feel slighted and they could, blast you and put your face and picture up on one of these,
Okay, well,
sites.
first of all, that would just be more promo. So, and second of all, it's not always like that.
Oh,
Do y'all understand that females actually also sometimes just want to smash? You know what I mean? And on top of that, y'all gotta understand, I move a little different, dog. Like females I deal
mm.
with, I be having some females sign non-disclosure agreements. You know what I mean? Like
What?
yeah, yes, man, yes,
Agreement.
yes. So a lot of these females I deal with are on paperwork.
In your
Wow.
non-disclosure
They're
agreement.
on papers, okay? They are on paper. I'm not playing with y'all. They on
What's
papers,
in
all
your
right?
non-disclosure agreement?
Huh?
What's in your non-disclosure agreement?
I mean, you can't talk about anything we do. You know what I'm saying? Anything that you know what I'm saying. That, this is just keep your mouth shut. Pretty much
So,
about our affairs.
wow,
What's
wow.
so hard to believe? If you deal with Drake, you know he's gonna make you sign a line of disclosure, right? If you
I
deal with any of these
laugh.
other
You
powerful
ain't
men, they're
Drake
gonna.
though, not yet, bro.
But I'm just saying, I feel as though if I'm
Ain't
valuable,
no way.
I'm just saying, man. Like you know, that's how men of me. Well, I ain't trying to big up my home. That's how men successful or future successful men move. They don't want nothing coming back later. So non-disclosure agreements, consent forms at times, you know,
So
all
at
time.
times, like who? So who signs the consent form versus who doesn't?
I mean, like I said, it depends on the situation because I got cameras in the crib too. So that's not cameras enough videos always enough said. So it just depends on the situation. Everything's situational. But either way, something's gonna be documented legally in my favor when I deal with the female in 2020 and beyond.
Oh, damn.
Because of the Me
Wow.
Too era, false
Wow.
allegations, too many men, being
Now, for that, I
exonerated.
can understand wanting to protect yourself.
That's the
However, but
purpose.
okay, now that's different. When you say an NDA, so them signing an NDA, meaning they can't discuss anything that you all have done, that's different than you signing like a consent form saying that you're consenting to this relationship.
I mean, they're different forms, but just nothing wrong with using all of. Nothing wrong with using more than one form. I mean, like I said, when you deal with a lot of men, especially celebrities or men with means, it's normal to have for you to sign this type of stuff. This is normal procedure. It's just not normal to us because we are the everyday people. But I don't consider myself the everyday person. Who knows what my future holds? I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'm not gonna risk
I
it all
feel
for
you.
some sex. I'm not gonna risk it all for some sex. I can get sex anytime. You know what I'm saying? So safety and sorry. If you don't feel comfortable, it's cool, sweetheart. I will be back to the crib. I'll see you another time. Get another female. But it's not worth it. It's not worth. If you see good in your future, it's not worth risking it as a man.
So
I
non-disclosure
see.
agreements. Um, wow. So
I mean, what's so bad about that? I mean, do y'all have sons?
It's
You got a
no.
son, right?
I
What you
have a
doing?
son,
So if he
and
grow up to be a millionaire, you wouldn't want him to protect himself?
oh, absolutely, absolutely. But I think that where we are right now versus where he'll be in the future will probably be quite different. Um, so I guess I do understand it, but I just thought it was I just think it's interesting. I think it's really interesting.
Yeah, me too. It's interesting. I just didn't expect that, I guess.
I
Um,
mean,
do you sleep with
that's what
married
it
women?
is. Huh?
Do you sleep with married women?
I stopped doing that. I stopped. I try my best to not deal with females that are attached. Even though it's really hard to do it because most females are already having sex with 3 or 4 dudes already. But I don't like to deal with females who are like outwardly spoken about how attached they are, like engaged, married. I try not to.
Okay,
Cause
okay.
there's too many females out here to take. It's too many to take the risk. You know what I mean? I've been caught up in situations before. Messing around with a chick, her man pull up while we smashing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm just like, yo, you know
Did you
what?
have to hide in the closet?
Now he called us. I couldn't hide. He opened the door while I was in it.
What?
Dang.
Yeah, we didn't hear him come in or none. Nobody heard him come in. He just opened the door. He said, "What the fuck? What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh shit!" Shit. I'll put in the bathroom. I could have. If he was on some other shit, he could have had, a gun or something. Was pissed, but luckily, he was just mad as fuck, yelling at her. While he was yelling at her, I put my, pants on, and walked out. So I just try my best not to entertain that.
Mm. Um. So we are in the manosphere, and I hear a lot of guys talking negatively about women, right?
Hmm.
Do you think that most have experienced what they talk about, or are they going off of what other guys say?
That's a good question. I think it's probably about 60-40. I think 60% experienced it. I think 40% going off of what other guys say. Maybe even 70-30. Because I mean, most guys, even the most lamest, ugliest dude, and dealt with a female before that, even if she was ugly and fat too. But I think probably around 60-40 or 70-30.
Mm. What do you think
But there are
causes?
some guys who don't know what they're talking about. I mean, I'm not gonna sit up here and stun about that. But go ahead.
So, with the guys that have gone through a lot of these things, what do you think is the base cause of that?
What do you mean? That's experience. That's just what the base cause of what?
Okay, like men, like what I've noticed is that a lot of guys in here seem to have a lot like low self-esteem. And so when you have low self-esteem, you're willing to put up with somebody's shit. People are quicker to dog you out. Um, to me, people with low self-esteem tend to go through some shit, a lot of the time. So I was wondering, like, what do you think is the cause of them going through the problems that they go through? Because a lot of them are simps. They take a lot of shit from women.
I mean, that is true. A lot of it, and that's what I talk about on my channel. Like there's a lot of men who do need to become more aggressive. When I talk about this, some people get their feelings hurt, but I always tell people this, like, sometimes a man has to be more aggressive to get what he wants out of life. That's what I kind of tell like the more educated black man. Like, sometimes you might have to take some characteristics of the Pookie. Don't become the Pookie, but just take some like characteristics like the aggressiveness, the assertiveness, the confidence that you can get more results. Because not just with females, aggressive people win in life, but there are a lot of things that are self-inflicted with men, and they get mad when I say that because a lot of people do want to 100% blame the female. It's not 100% hers. Like men especially black men have a lot of self improving they could do as well. But you know, that's I get a lot of pushback for that, but that just is what it is.
I remember when you did a stream about the porn industry and how black men should kind of take control of that industry since people are making a lot of money off of black people or black men, right? Um,
Yes.
and did you I don't know the conclusion of that stream, but did you get a lot of pushback from saying that? Well, because I think that was one of the first streams that I actually sat on, and we actually had a conversation. And I was saying that I don't think black men kind of have that thing I think black men have more morals than everybody else. What do you think about that?
Well, black men are definitely like the porn industry is just an industry at the end of the day. It's a business. And not just that industry. I mean, the number one selling genre is interracial with a black man. So it's like, I'm just like, yo, they make it, this is like the NBA. They're making all this money off of you. You might as well take ownership. But it's just like with any other industry. Black men need to take more ownership of any industry that's making money off of them. Like, it makes no sense that the hip hop industry is owned by somebody else. To me, it
I
doesn't.
agree with that 100%.
You
And,
know?
most of a lot of black artists die broke. However, these people are creating generational wealth
Yep.
off of the backs of black people. So I agree with that. Black
Literally.
men do need to take control over these industries that they're being used in.
Exactly. To me that just makes logical sense. So that's why I'm at with that. But for some, like you said, a lot of us we have too many morals. We think it's wrong to be a conqueror because we think the way we've been raised up. A lot of us have been raised up by females, but
Hmm.
a lot of us have been affected by the culture, thinking everything's
Yep.
supposed to be quick money. So it's just like we're not developing the fortitude to build things that last, for long periods of times. We're just not thinking like that. So
There's nothing more beautiful than a black man conquering ish. Like, seriously, that is like a beautiful thing. And that's like a black man taking his rightful place and just taking charge the way in which he should. And the thing about it is, I think most black men have the nature to do it. They are just, conditioned. And a large part of it is them being raised in homes where, there's not a male influence or a strong male influence. And, that's part of it. But another part of it is the conditioning they receive through media and through schools and all of that.
exactly, and that's a problem that we have to face head on. But that's what I talk about on my channel. So people like I'm talking to black men, telling like, look, we got to have a conquering mindset. 'Cause I know every day I wake up, I
Mm-hmm.
want more. I want more money. I want more influence. I want more everything because as a man, that's just my nature. I notice
Mm-hmm.
a lot of other men just don't have it. That warrior fire is just missing. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And whatever for whatever reason it is what it is. But I mean, we can dwell on that, but we gotta be solution minded. Like every day, the matrix gets stronger and bigger. You can't be stagnant. So that's why that's why I
I
talk
agree
the way
with
I talk.
that. And I don't subscribe to a lot of the crazy things that you say, but the basic premise of your channel and what you're trying to do, I stand behind that 100%. Like, we need more
Right.
men encouraging black men, despite the way in which they do it. Like, black men need to take their rightful positions in the society as leaders, and they should be focused on self-improvement above all other things. As unpopular of an opinion as that might be, I do agree with that.
Yeah, I think that was one of the main reasons that I support his channel the way I do, is because of the things that he encourages black men to do now. The stuff that he talks about black women, I don't fully agree, of course, but he does promote black male agency, which I think is a big thing that needs to be promoted in the manosphere, and I appreciate the manosphere for that. So I think that's really dope.
Yeah, but here's the thing. See, and that's what's up because I mean, but see, what y'all don't want to talk about is that men doing things like that and having that mindset, having that conquering mindset, a man like that is going to understand everything is proper place. So what y'all don't like is the fact that it's the element of misogyny that comes with the conquering mindset. See, you can't have that conquering. And throughout history, men who conquer and take things over, the misogynistic mindset was always there. Name me a time when it wasn't.
Actually, I do prefer men to be a bit chauvinistic and
Yeah, my man is a
I actually
misogynist.
prefer I actually
Exactly. That's all I'm
Absolutely.
saying.
yeah.
I always tell him he has toxic masculinity, just jokingly, but he is, but any man that's a worrier, they're going to have that misogyny, that they'll probably operate it, under the guise of misogyny in some way. But yeah, I get that.
Well,
Concrete, this man said, why we not married? Shit, cause I'm not. Goddamn.
Why are we not married? I'm engaged. I don't know when I'm going to get married, but I'm engaged. Are you married? Who said that?
Rasul Daniels.
Oh, Rasul Daniels. I see that in
I
the
know
in the chat.
Rasul.
Why are these
Rasul is
females not
funny.
married?
Personally, I think it's because I've hit the wall, but I
Oh,
know I got hope.
No, I
you're in
know
a
why you guys are not
long-term
married.
relationship.
I,
Why
I
is
I know
that?
why you guys are not married.
Why is
I mean,
that?
if y'all want the real truth,
Yeah, I want the.
I
I,
don't
because
know.
I want. I want the
y'all
real
turn
truth.
down the dudes who did want to marry y'all, who y'all weren't attracted to. Ain't no way y'all made it to 40 or however y'all old, but that no dude proposed to y'all. Y'all just didn't fuck with
No,
each other.
I was proposed to. I've been
I
engaged. I
know.
was with my
And you
ex
said
for
no.
14 years. No, I actually said yeah. However, I knew that the relationship was over by the time he proposed, so we didn't marry. But
And
So you didn't want them.
I was engaged and got cheated on,
you could
and
say that.
yeah, mm, yeah. I didn't think
Um, Ramil, I don't know if Danielle had already talked to you about this, but are you open to taking questions from the chat?
Yeah, that's cool.
Just
Yeah, let's get
we
it in.
do let us know. We won't keep you too long, but Danny, do you have more questions, or you want to open it up for a bit?
we can open it up for a bit for
Yeah,
motherfucking
bring it
Ramil.
on.
While
I
you're
mean,
doing that,
y'all better
Mhm.
do it now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
let's go ahead and do it. Danny, Rasul is also saying there's no accountability. I guess that we are to be faulted for not being married. I don't subscribe to the state sanctioned marriage. I don't subscribe to the westernized idea of marriage. Anyhow, that's not my forte, so to speak. So when I do marry, it won't be a state sanctioned marriage.